Today I'm hiking Escudilla Mountain, a 6.5-mile trail to one of the last historic fire lookouts in Arizona. The road up here is steep and rough, but the views are worth it.
Oh my gosh, there's a
Escudilla is actually the smallest wilderness area in Arizona, which also means no drones are allowed here. But I did get some aerial shots just outside the boundaries so you can see how gorgeous this place really is. The whole region is part of the Mexican gray wolf reintroduction area, so there's always a chance of spotting one out here. That would be incredible. The trail starts out in a quiet pine and aspen forest, and you can see the burn scars from the Wallow Fire immediately. That fire was in 2011 and the largest wildfire in Arizona's history. However, you can see all these new aspens and pines growing. It's a great demonstration of the forest renewing itself. You can also see all these beautiful flowers. In 1936, the very last grizzly bear in Arizona was shot here. Aldo Leopold wrote about that, saying that it changed his thought on wilderness forever. And now that apex predator no longer lives in Arizona, but now they're reintroducing the Mexican gray wolf. Whenever an apex predator is getting introduced into a wildlife area, there's bound to be some pushback. Ranchers worry about their cows, but the Mexican gray wolf is, for the most part, shy and stays away from people. It says, R.I.P. Old Bigfoot, 1935. They called the grizzly bear that they shot Old Bigfoot. So I like this. This is like a nice little memorial for the last grizzly bear here in Arizona. I was actually planning on hiking Escudilla Mountain the last time I was here when Ian came along with me. But the Mount Baldy loop was 20 miles. I had really bad altitude sickness and pretty much had to hunch over 45 degrees so that my head wouldn't pound too bad. And oh my gosh, it made me nauseous. So I had to come back because my goal this year is to hike the 3 highest Arizona peaks. So I wanted to get here before the snow really set in. So I'm about halfway up right now at about 10,500 feet of elevation. And as far as altitude sickness for me, 10,000 feet is about when I start to feel it. Even though the grizzly bear is gone, there is a good chance you'll see a lot of other wildlife. There's elk that like to eat in the meadow. There's turkeys that like to gobble in the trees. Ooh. I almost fell. And now you might even hear the howl of a wolf, since the Mexican gray wolves have been reintroduced. And living in Phoenix, I kind of forget until I come to a place like this how much I miss the sound of birds. There's over 200 species of birds here, including the Mexican spotted owl. It's the end of September right now, and I'm also seeing the very beginning changes in the leaves. And then in front of me, I can see a lot more color, especially on the east side of Escudilla Mountain. I'm also getting my first glimpse of the lookout tower. It's always good to see kind of your end point, to see where you're going. This is nice. I had quite a bit of the elevation, about half of it already. And now there's this nice little flat section. It actually dips down a little bit. And I needed it. And I keep blaming altitude sickness. I don't know, maybe I'm just out of shape. I'm definitely spending a lot more time in my computer editing chair than hiking and running like I used to. Boy, look at all these burnt trees. See all the little trees though, coming in to take their places. And I guess another positive thing about it is you get these big clearings where you can see for miles and miles and miles. So it looks like we found a little poo here, and there's a lot of fur in it. I'm not a poo expert, but I'm thinking something that ate a bunny. So I'm thinking coyote or wolf. I don't know, maybe a bobcat or something. But there you go. You don't really even see any poo. It's like, oh, there's some poo. It's mostly just fur at this point. So there you go. Whose scat is that? I think that was a children's book. Look at these huge downed trees. I don't know if you can see the lookout tower way up there. Yeah. So you can see it. That's where I'm going. You can also see all these trees turning red. It's fall. I think last week was the first day of fall. Oh, there's a little sign here. Let's see what it has to say. Government Trail, Escudilla. I'm trying to figure out, okay, Government Trail. I don't really see a path here. Apparently there's a trail that goes that way. I sure don't see it. Look at these beautiful fall colors. How pretty. I didn't know if there would be any fall colors quite yet in the White Mountains, and so this is a really pleasant surprise. And coming up, it looks like it's going to get even prettier. I see some reds. Gorgeous. Oh my gosh, there's a horned toad. How amazing is he? You see him? Oh my gosh, I've only seen one other one of these. What an awesome find. Isn't he cute in a grumpy little way? This makes my day. He is chill. Isn't he so cool? Oh my gosh, and he does not care that I'm here at all. I was just about ready to summit Escudilla Mountain, and I just noticed a little bit of movement, and I am just so excited to see this little guy. I'm gonna try to get a selfie with him. Fall in the White Mountains definitely comes early. especially higher elevations like this. I am just standing here looking at New Mexico from here. That's how high up we are. So there's New Mexico. And these aspen are absolutely stunning. I am just so thrilled that I got to see these beautiful fall colors here in the White Mountains. This makes me just so happy right now. And here we are at the fire tower. We'll be going to that. And I'm just trying to decide if I've been anywhere prettier than this. This is absolutely stunning. This is the third time I've been to the White Mountains this year. And I am just falling in love. It is just stunning. So many trails. Not many people at all. Could you imagine if this hike was in Flagstaff? There would be hundreds of people. I've seen 3. Here we are at the top of Escudilla Mountain, the 3rd highest peak in Arizona. So you get a great view of all the White Mountains here. My goodness. You feel like you can just see forever up here. Those fire towers are sure important. You can see all the devastation from the Wallow Fire from 2011 from here. The Wallow Fire was started from Bear Wallow. It's not too far from here. From an unattended campfire. I'll have to go to Bear Wallow Wilderness sometime. So I'm heading back down Escudilla Mountain. Great trail. I absolutely loved it. Boy, compared to Baldy, that was a piece of cake. Easy, easy, easy. And it's also a lot easier than Kendrick Peak. That one's a challenge too. At least the highlight was definitely the horned toad. I think I could have been like a half hour faster to the summit if I didn't run into that little guy, because I spent a lot of time checking him out. That was just such a special treat. I feel so good getting out of the big city and coming here. The White Mountains are just a really special place. I know I've gotten some new subs from the White Mountains. I would love to hear some locals familiar with this area. I'd love to hear from you and tell me some other trails that can't be missed here in the White Mountains. I know I've just scratched the surface. There's just so much to explore. Are you surprised that this trail is in Arizona? I know when I first moved here, I was shocked that trails like this are in Arizona. Make sure that you take the time to get outside. Until next week. I caught a few sprinkles hiking down Escudilla, but luckily the storm passed over the mountain. After that, I took a fun, bumpy drive across Terry Flat and then started the long trip back toward Phoenix. And that's when the real storm hit. A historic monsoon downpour that turned the quiet calm of this hike into a full-on white-knuckle drive. This is the first hike in my 3-part series covering the highest peaks in Arizona with official trails. So if you want to see what's coming next, make sure you're subscribed and have notifications on. You won't want to miss it.
What's up?
Finally!
Man,